Hello there, this is Kush from Click Trainers. Welcome to this tutorial on DaVinci Resolve, which is an absolutely amazing software. And the reason why it's very amazing is because it's free and it's still very powerful and does a lot of things which are, equivalent of some paid softwares out there, which is something I'll be talking about later towards the end of this video. Also, when I compare it with some other softwares, but basically it's a great software and I'm going to teach you how to use at least get started with it and even some advanced things. So I would say this tutorial on DaVinci Resolve is for beginners as well as a little bit of advanced things are also there. Perfect for people who've also used it, not just for the people who are using it for the first time, who are seeing it for the first time. But if you used it and you kind of struggled with it because it has a slight learning curve, this tutorial will be perfect for you. But I should also say it's probably not for people who are already very advanced into DaVinci Resolve. And let's say you want something about color grading Hollywood movies or something that ambitious. No, this is not for you. So beginner to kind of semi-advanced would be the right niche for this. Okay, so go to Google, type DaVinci Resolve, download. That's the first thing that you'll have to do in case you don't have this software. So you click on this first option which says blackmagicdesign.com. Those are the people that make this amazing software. And then the latest version of DaVinci Resolve is 17. Okay, so just click on download. Now it's still in the beta stage. So I had the 16 myself, and just few days back I downloaded the 17 beta version. The Studio Beta or the Studio 16 here are, I think, the paid versions of DaVinci Resolve. So DaVinci Resolve has this free version and they also have a paid version, okay, which obviously has much more features. But to be frank, for most basic video creators, I don't think this is really needed. So you'll be obviously plus because you don't want to pay. So you're just going to click on download for whichever operating system you use. And once you've done that, you install this software, you're going to see something like an icon here, and just double click on it and it'll show you the opening window. And then finally, you're going to see something like this, which is where the whole process will start, which says projects. Okay, so this is where you can see I have some projects already, but this is pretty much going to be blank for you. And what you're going to do here is you're going to click on new project. Okay, so just give it anything. Okay, so just call it tutorial. You can give it whatever name you want. And then just click on create, and this is where the whole fun will start. Okay, so you're going to see DaVinci Resolve opening up, and I'm also going to be telling you what we are planning to do for this tutorial. Okay, so you're going to see something like this, and you're going to see these options here. I'm just going to quickly make you walk over all this. But before that, let me just show you what exactly are we trying to do here for this tutorial. So I have two clips. Okay, so let me just show you the first clip. So one is a video file and one is an audio file. So let me open the video. You need to know about setting up an online course blueprint, the complete guide to setting. So this is actually, one of the intro videos of my course called Online Course Blueprint, where I teach you how to create and sell online courses. So this is just like the first video in the introduction module where I'm just saying, things like, hey, welcome to this course and all these things. Okay, so just an intro module. Obviously, I made a lot of mistakes there. So our job is to just cut down all those mistakes and just turn it into that 30 to 40 second video where we just get the meat of the things. Okay, and obviously you can see here, if I just open up this video, I'm wearing lavalier mic here. So that means I don't want to use the sound that has been recorded from the DSLR that is shooting this, okay? Because obviously that is not going to sound good, just like you heard. So I have the better audio file over here also. So which is going to sound something like this. Obviously in this course, the online course business, right? So a couple of things that we'll be doing with these two things. So we'll be importing both of them inside DaVinci Resolve, and I'll show you how to do some different things like cutting, syncing the audio and video and all these basic things. And then we have some advanced stuff also as we keep moving on. Okay, so pretty simple edit. And most of people who are just looking for basic video editing, you will probably learn whatever you need to learn in this tutorial with this very simple edit also, okay, because most of the things will remain the same no matter what you're trying to do. So this is how the interface looks like, okay. And if you've done my Premiere Pro for beginners, we have a similar look in most of the video editing softwares, whether that's Premiere Pro, Final Cut Pro. So there's going to be like this timeline, and you're going to do most of your stuff here, and there's going to be this window where you can preview everything that you're doing. Okay, so basically that's how it is. Now in DaVinci Resolve, in other softwares, usually you have something like a window option here, and you can change the different views. Okay, in DaVinci Resolve, what they've done is it's pretty straightforward. So they have these different tabs here. The media tab is for importing. So like you just import all the media. Then the cut tab here is where you start cutting your clips. So which whatever is not required in the clip, you just keep cutting it, okay? Edit is, where you'll get like a nice timeline where you do the actual editing, okay? And then you have Fusion. Fusion is for some effects that you want to put and all these things. But I'm going to tell you like a easier version of all this. I'm just kind of making you run through these things, okay? So Fusion is just taking a bit of time to open up. So Fusion looks like this. Then you have color. Color is for color grading. So, changing the colors, changing the contrast, brightness, color, luminosity, and all these advanced things which all these Hollywood people use and all these things. This is where DaVinci Resolve actually is better than anything else. This is the USP of DaVinci Resolve, is color grading. But the irony of the whole tutorial or this whole thing is that in this tutorial, we actually won't be spending too much time on the color grading part, because I'm just want to teach you as a basic video creator how this software really, really works. So this is the actual strength of DaVinci Resolve. If it gets all the good reputation, it gets from this color option here, because very, very powerful, okay? Then you have Fairlight, which stands for the audio editing, okay? And then you finally have the Deliver option, where you're gonna export the video, okay? Render and export. Now you might be getting confused, Kush, are you seriously going to cover all this? No. Okay, why? Because most of the basic video creators, we simply do almost everything that we require to do, right? From this importing part to cutting to editing to the audio to the effects, everything is done on this tab, okay? So you won't really be going this edit tab, okay? So you won't really be going into all these things. At the end, we'll just probably go on deliver, but the rest of the things as a basic video creator can all be done in the edit tab. So you don't even have to touch most of this as a basic person, okay? That's what you need to know. So for example, we'll start the whole process by first of all importing our media. But before that, okay, let's just talk about the settings. So we also have to be careful about the settings that this timeline. So this is called the timeline. This is where your editing will take place. We're going to spend most of our time here. Now the settings of this timeline, okay, that basically we're talking about things like frame rate and the resolution have to be same as, they don't have to be, but it's usually preferable that it's the same as the video settings that you shot your video in, okay? So for example, let's just see this video. If I just right click on properties, okay, if I could go on details here, so you can see that this video is a 1080p video. That means 1920 pixels by 1080 pixels. And then this has a frame rate of 23.98. So I also have to make sure that when I am using DaVinci Resolve to edit this timeline also has those same settings, so that, we can be just in sync with our whole editing process and the video, okay? So how you do that is you can go to File. So before you import, just go to Project Settings here. So File, and you click on Project Settings. And then this is where you can select those same options. You can see right now the resolution is set to 1920 by 1080. That is perfect. But if you see the timeline frame rate, it's set to 24, whereas for our video, the frame rate is 23.98. Okay, so for example, I should probably be selecting this here. And it will change, and then I can click on save and then begin the importing process. Okay, but let me also show you that let's say you forget this step and you don't do it, and there was a mismatch in the settings there and the settings here. It's not such a big deal, okay? So let me show you. So for example, let's just turn it to 30 frame rate, okay? So then obviously it's not matching, and let's say I just click on save and I forget to, there's a mismatch right now, 23.98 and 30, right, in the frame rate. That doesn't matter, because the moment you import, and by the way, I should not have pressed the shortcut because you don't know how to import it. So you go to File. So the shortcut is Control and I or Command and I, but you can also go to File, and to import your media, you can go to Import and you can click on Media. So you can see the shortcut here also, okay? And we need to get both of these things. So this is the video and the audio, and you can see the moment I click on Open, it's going to say Change Project Frame Rate. So the selected clips have a different frame rate to the project. That means, remember, we selected deliberately a wrong frame rate of 30 for the project. So it's telling us that the clips have a different frame rate. Would you like to change your timeline frame rate so that it can match the video? So yes, I wanted to change because I deliberately did not set it. So if I click on change right now, what's going to happen is it's going to import both the files here. And now if I go to project settings, you can see that it is already imported that frame rate from the clips, which is 23, and the other settings also will do it, okay? If you change the resolution and all, it will work the same way, right? So this is now we are in sync with our timeline and the clips that we have imported. And now is the time that we will actually start to edit. All right. So the first thing that we're going to do obviously is, this is the timeline here. So what you're going to do is, let's bring in our video first. You could just go and click on this and you're going to drag this. Okay. And now this part, okay, I'll talk about this window later, what the purpose of this window is, which is kind of like a source monitor, which is used to preview your videos from here. And that is going to be handy when we add in our B-roll footages later on, okay? But right, don't worry about it if you're hearing all this for the first time. But this is the playback monitor, okay? Or the preview monitor, there are different terms used for this, okay? But basically, whatever changes you do here, like you cut something, that is going to reflect here. So you're getting a preview of all the editing that you do. Okay, for example, right now I can just play. I've not done any changes, but I've just imported it here in the timeline and I can just click on play here. Hello there, welcome to the online course Blueprint, where you're just about to learn. Right, so you can see, fairly easy. And now is the part where we start the editing process.